What's going on, guys? Jax the Bearded Hiker here. So I am so excited about doing this video today because we're going to be making charcuterie, specifically capicola, using the 𝐾𝐫 muscle of a whole pork shoulder, and we're going to be doing it in the refrigerator using the Umai charcuterie kit. Now, I've used these Umai dry bags before, making some dry aged steaks, and I was so pleased with the results. I decided I was going to order these charcuterie bags and give it a shot. And I got a feeling it's going to come out delicious. So stay with me and I'm going to show you how to make this. Alright, so let's take a look at this 𝐾𝐫 muscle here. Okay, so it's already trimmed, as you can see. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and weigh this 𝐾𝐫 muscle out, because it's going to be very important that we get a good weight on it so we'll know exactly how much 𝐦𝐞𝐴 and other spices that we need to use. Okay, so now that our 𝐾𝐫 muscle is weighed out, we got 3.4 pounds, but we're going to go ahead and overshoot that and just call it about 3.5 pounds. It's very important that you record that weight, because not only is it going to be, you know, how much spices and whatever that you put on the 𝐾𝐫 muscle, but it's also going to be how to know when this is done. So when this has reached a 35 to 40% reduction in weight, that's how you're going to know that it's done. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw those spices together, blend them up, and then put them on the 𝐾𝐫 muscle. Okay, so now that we have our 𝐾𝐫 muscle weighed and we know exactly how much of each we need, we're going to go ahead and blend it up here. So I'm going in with some kosher salt, and that was exactly about 60 grams or 6 tablespoons of kosher salt. We're going to go in with some sugar here, and we're going to be doing about 2 tablespoons or 30 grams. Here is, we got our 𝐦𝐞𝐿 number 2, which is about a teaspoon. And that's, let's see, a teaspoon, that's going to be 6 grams going in there. All right, pepper. Now, pepper may weigh differently depending on what type you use. This happens to be about 2 tablespoons of coarsely ground black pepper. And if you're not a big pepper head, then you could go with less. So we're going to go in with those juniper berries now. And that is about 3 grams of juniper berries. I'm going to go in with 2 bay leaves. And then we're going to go in with some freshly grated nutmeg, okay? And that's about 1 gram of nutmeg, or a half a teaspoon. I'm going to go in with some minced garlic, as much as you want. This recipe recommends about 2 cloves. And then we're going to go in with some fresh thyme, about 3 sprigs there. So we're just going to put our lid on it now, and I'm going to spare you with the loud, obnoxious noise that I'm about ready to do. All right, we're nice and blended up now, so let's move on to the next step. All right, so we got our spices here blended up. We're going to go ahead and start rubbing them on this 𝐾𝐫 muscle. All right, guys, so now that we got all that covered liberally, we're going to go ahead and stick it in a bag here. Now, you could use a Ziploc bag, but I want this meat to lay pretty flat on, you know, this rub here. Thanks. This rub to be kind of adhered on there, so I'm going to put it in the Vac Master, and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and slide this in our Vac Master VB210 here, VP210 I should say. Now, you could use a regular Ziploc bag, or you could use a regular vacuum sealer. But I just love using this Vac Master here. I've had it, what, a month and a half, 2 months here. I'm going to be doing a review on this at some point. I just want to get familiar with it before I do a review on it. Anyway, let's go ahead and put that down. What this does is, right now it's vacuuming out all the air inside this chamber here. After it vacuums out all the air, you'll see it's going to cut off, and the vacuum's going to stop, and it's going to suck down and then seal. Boom. Alright, so it's sealed. And basically what happens is it just vacuums out all the air. I mean, you can see, look at that. Okay, so now guys, what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna stick it in my refrigerator. We're gonna leave it in there at least 7 days. We may even do 2 weeks, but I'll let you know as the process unfolds. Now that won't be the end. After we take it out, after that, we're gonna have to do some other things, and it's still probably gonna take, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks after that when we put it in the Umai dry bags. Okay, we'll see you in about 7 to 14 days. All right, guys, so it's been exactly 14 days. So we have removed this bad boy out of the refrigerator. We're gonna take it out of the package, and we're gonna lightly rinse this off before we move on to step 2. So we're rinsed off pretty good. I mean, you see, I didn't do it too aggressively. You can still see some specks and whatnot on there, but we got the bulk of it off. So now typically Capicola is seasoned with paprika, I think by tradition. Now we are gonna season with some paprika here, but I have some other things in here. So what I have in here is a 1/4 cup of paprika, a 1/4 cup of Kashmiri chili, and 1 tablespoon of chipotle powder. And we're just gonna kind of liberally season here. Now we don't want to be, I'm gonna be, I guess, kind of aggressive, but I'll go back and wipe off, you know, a little bit later on. But we're just gonna go ahead and coat this up. So normally it may not matter for this coat to be dry on it, but the Umai bags, they like a little bit of moisture because the bag actually sticks to it. So again, you just want to make sure that your rub that you're putting on here is more, you don't want any dry spots on here. You want it to be, you know, your rub to be hydrated while it's on here, if you're using the Umai bags. Okay. All right, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna just let it sit here for a minute, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do next. So while the Capicola is sitting there and that rub soaking up some moisture, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna prepare our little doohickey here. And what I have is, this is just a 2-liter bottle that I've cut the bottom off. And then I have this roll here, and this is just a meat netting. I believe it's the size 16. I'll leave a link in the description. Now, by no means do you have to use this meat roll. You can use butcher's twine if you wanted to. It actually, butcher's twine may be a little bit easier. But this is very hard. This stuff is very hard to stretch over the meat. So what I'm going to do is just kind of cheat a little bit. We're going to do something like this. This will just help us out a bit. Okay, now we're about ready to go ahead and do this. Now you see I have the net on here. Now you don't want to go too far with your net, because if you do, this thing will collapse on you. All right, so for now we're just going to pick up the Capicola, and we're going to just kind of work it in here just like this, and that'll help us get a little bit of structure on this thing. All right. Alright, now what I've done is I've just cut the end off. Now, what we're going to do is keep working this all the way down. And, whoa, here we go. Alright, so properly netted, we're going to kind of shake it like that. All right, so now that we got our Capicola in there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to tie this one off too. All right, on to the next step. All right, real quick, guys, I just wanted to show you guys what was in this charcuterie kit by Umai. Here you have your insecure number 2 that you'll need, your juniper berries, you have your vac mouses for the bag, you have some start and end date and weight stickers here that goes on your pack. You also get the Umai bags here, and you also get a sheet of charcuterie recipes. All right, so we're about ready to seal this up. We got our Umai bag here, and you can see I've just put a cuff in the bag. A big shout out to 𝐬𝐸 right there, because this vacuum sealer right here is going to go perfect for this application. Okay, so we're just going to pick this bad boy up. We're going to go ahead and slide it into our Umai bag here. Let's move this out of the way here. Now we just want to make sure that while we're vacuuming, guys, go ahead and kind of massage this in, because it's key for this bag to be touching this as much as it can be. All right, but we also got to put in the vac mouse, which is this little deal right here. And this is going to help seal. Now also, we're going to take this and we're going to crinkle the end of this bag, and this is going to create channels in there, so we'll get a nice vacuum. And I must say also, these bags aren't like vacuum bags. They allow moisture and everything to leave the bag and don't let any harmful bacteria or anything come into this bag. All right, so let's go ahead. Put our vac mouse in here. Vac mouse is in, so what we're going to do is go ahead and lock that down and hit the vacuum seal. And as we're vacuuming, we're going to go ahead and help this along by working some of this air out. Now I do have this on a gentle cycle. Looks pretty good right there. Okay, so we're nice and sealed up here. After that first seal, I went ahead and backed this whole bag down, and I did another seal right above the first seal. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick this in our refrigerator, and we're going to put it on a cooling rack so we can get air circulation around the whole thing. And I don't know, we got to reduce the weight of this thing by 35 to 40%. That's usually going to take anywhere from, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. So we'll see you then. All right, we just pulled this out of the fridge. It took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it's actually been 10 weeks and 3 days since we started this. Now, I did go ahead and go to the 40% in weight reduction instead of the 35%. Now, what we need to do is go ahead and take this out of the bag, take this netting off, and we're going to go ahead and slice into the middle of it and give it a try. After that, I plan on doing what they call equalization. After I've read in a couple of forums about this, they said that by vacuum sealing it and letting it sit in there in your fridge for a couple of weeks extra, that it supposedly enhances the flavor. We're going to find out. Looks pretty good, actually. Let's go ahead and move this netting here. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the looks of that. It's nice and hard on the outside. Let's go ahead and give it a cut into the middle. All right, the reveal. Wow, I am happy with that, guys. Wow, that looks beautiful. Here, let me cut me a piece off. All right, there's our slice. I sliced it as thin as I could with my knife. I don't know if you can you see through it? I mean, there's probably not enough light back there. Anyway, all right, let's give it a try. All right, here we go, guys. Smells fantastic. Wow. All right. That's the absolute best Capicola I've ever tasted. All right, really, really good. Okay, so I'm interested in seeing what this vacuum sealing this in regular vacuum bags is going to do in a couple of weeks. So we'll give it another taste test then. So we're about ready to slice into our Capicola after it's been sitting in the refrigerator equalizing for 2 weeks. Now I want to make sure that we understand that equalizing and equilibrium curing, two different things. The equalizing, what we did was supposed to enhance the flavor. Some people say it helps with case hardening, and it just kind of settles everything down after the curing process. So let's slice into this stuff and see how we did. All right, so we got us a few slices here, so let's give it a shot. I'm gonna try to do some close-ups later. Very good. Did it enhance the flavor? I'm not sure if it did or not. Do I find it any better than when we first tasted this? I mean, not really. It's still delicious. I'll probably need them side by side. It does seem a little moister in the mouth. Moister. So when I first took it out, there was a little bit of hardness around the outer edge, and it seems to be more consistent all the way through. I'd say, sorry, I keep chewing my mouth open. I would say this is a definitely do again. I'm going to slice this up, and what I don't eat, I'm probably going to put it in the freezer. I'm hoping it'll stay good like that, and then when I just feel like I need some, I'm just going to take it out and serve it with some cheese and some crackers or something like that. All right, guys, how to make Capicola at home using the Umai dry bags. Do it.